Hello everyone, my name is James Phoenix, and welcome to the Lair of the Phoenix. Tonight, we follow up on last Friday's review of Night at the Museum with a review of the sequel, Night at the Museum, Battle of the Smithsonian.
Well, you meant to look like a mad scientist there with the hand gestures.
Sure, let's go with that. Anyway, joining me, as you heard from over there, the lovely Poshman himself, Simon Pegasus.
What up, bitches?
Simon
also,
is.
yes. Also from that side of the pond, we have the manly Englishman, Chris the Mole.
What the fuck was that?
Oh my god, that was fucking brilliant. Do it again.
It was an outdated meme.
Who doesn't love outdated memes?
I don't get it.
And the hostess for the mostess, the Stacy, the Amel Lazerbeam herself.
Yes, Anastasia Lazerbeam is also here from the grotto.
And I'd have to say, did you say you don't get it? You don't remember the Budweiser? Was it? Even the Dudley boys did it.
So you were saying what's up. I couldn't hear what you said. Now I understand what you're saying. I couldn't know what the hell you said when you said it.
I'm bringing that back. No.
Anyway. Yes, you do that.
So, Jim, in all your manly dimple and mustache and Hitler haircut, do you want to kick things off?
He's
You
hit
actually twirled your fucking mustache there, you poser.
Anyway, yeah.
Luigi. Night Museum Battle of.
Come on, Madley. We're going to win this race even if I have to cheat to do it.
Fair enough, Dick Dastardly.
Anyway. Yes, Night at the Museum Battle of the Smithsonian, the 2009 sequel to the original Night at the Museum film. If you want to see a review of the first Night at the Museum film, again, that was last Friday. It's on the X-Pound channel. Go check it out.
Do I have to?
You don't have to, but you can.
Thank God.
Yes,
Anyway.
you do. As your master, yes.
Anyway, amongst the, of course, recurring cast here is, of course, Ben Stiller in the lead of Larry Daly, accompanied by Robin Williams as Theodore Roosevelt, Steve Coogan as Octavius, and Owen Wilson as Jedediah, the little miniature guy.
Hang on 1 second. How can you give frickin' Robin Williams top billing when he's in this movie for 5 seconds? Don't be an asshole. Give the people who worked on this movie their due. I'm sorry, but
I know. It's almost like people are overrating someone since they died.
it's like, oh, I made a cameo. Now I'm a fucking star. No,
I'm
fuck
kidding.
off. You're not part of this movie.
I'm kidding. People never do that. Oh wait, everyone does that with every celebrity ever.
So don't be fucking give
In
people their due.
all fairness, I would have put Robin Williams first even if he was still alive.
No, I'm just saying he wasn't in the movie. He had a cameo. So just the people who were actually
No, he was all up in it. He was at the beginning and the end of the movie, and he gave meaningful speeches. So you can shut up.
But that's he was not clearly the focus. He was just there to say, "Hey, I'm here," and then piss off.
Anyway.
To be fair, that wasn't
And of course, for this movie and this movie only, because to hell with continuity, we don't need to bring this back in the third movie, we have Amy Adams as Amelia Earhart.
Oh, God, yes.
She should have been mentioned second. I don't know where you get your crazy ass order.
Yeah,
from.
she was the one I would have put as top billing because she was the best part of this film.
Oh, yeah.
Which is fine, except if you actually listen to my introduction, what I said was starting off, we have recurring cast members, and I went through the recurring cast members.
No.
Then I was going to go back and introduce the new cast members.
And if you listen to what I said that's the person I personally would give top billing to. I didn't insult your order.
Alright.
And resuming
I
order.
insulted your order because it was stupid.
Fair enough.
It's okay.
Yes, introducing Amy Adams as Amelia Earhart. And over here, introducing the always hilarious and yet a little too cheesy for this movie, Hank Azaria as the Pharaoh Khamun Ra.
I'm gonna get you, Smiths.
Yeah, pretty much. he's basically Egyptian Gargamel with the accent of the Blue Raja from Mystery Men.
Oh, my God, I haven't seen Mystery Men in years.
It's a great movie. Go see it again. We'll review that later.
It kind of reminds me of Simon a little bit in this movie.
That's insulting to me.
Actually, yes, he does. Now that you mentioned it, yes.
Piss the both of you.
I wish I can't.
Well, if
There
it's
we go.
insulting him, I agree.
Hmm.
No! Give it on my side, you dick. Oh,
But
wait,
yes,
who
this
am I?
yes, amongst other recurring characters, other new characters include Bill Hader in the role of George Armstrong Custer, as well as, unfortunately, I don't actually know the names of some of the other characters who play this, but we have Ivan the Terrible, Al Capone, and Napoleon Bonaparte in relatively good-sized roles as well.
Napoleon good-sized.
Exactly.
Hi, Marcus. Oh,
Anyway.
come on, you have to admit, Napoleon totally had a Marcus complex.
He totally did. He totally did. But anyway, so the premise of the film is that after the events of the first movie, Larry Daly, our lead character, has moved on from the museum and has founded a company called Daly Devices, in which he is selling modified versions of cool things that he invented to help him in the first movie. And he has become very rich doing this, but because he's running the company now, he left the museum. Upon passing by one day, he returns to the museum to find that many of the exhibits are being packed up and shipped out to the Smithsonian Institute, with others being made lesser important in the museum because of new special interactive holographic exhibits that will be taking over that the museum goers can interact with. Because as an additional recurring character, museum curator Dr. McPhee, played by the wonderful Ricky Gervais, mentions, museum attendance is down and they need to do something about that.
Can I also just say, one of his inventions in like the first couple of seconds of that film is fucking genius. How has that not been invented? I speak, of course, about the glow-in-the-dark flashlight. Because if it's pitch black, you do need to go and grab a flashlight. Make it easy to see. That makes so much sense.
It does, and apparently, according to this call, welcome Duplicate Simon.
Hi, there was two of me, apparently. Yeah,
Anyway.
Twat.
Now Simon can live his fantasy of doing himself.
And no, that will never be my fantasy.
Yeah, Simon went away.
And just because
Certainly is mine.
Just because we haven't used this running joke for a while, Jim, can we rename this episode Menage a Twat?
Yes, I approve.
I'm kidding. We don't actually rename these. That's the running. That's the joke.
Yeah, sure. But yes, Ben Stiller returns to find out that the exhibits are being either made less important and in many cases being shipped out altogether. Teddy informing him that the tablet is remaining behind, and so the exhibits will no longer come to life. Unfortunately, after going home to have dinner with his son and focus on his business, he gets a phone call from Jedediah, played by Owen Wilson, informing him that the Capuchin monkey Dexter has stolen the tablet and that everything in the Smithsonian is coming to life, and it's kind of crazy down there because Achman Ra's evil brother, Kamun Ra, has come to life, and being the older brother believes he should be the rightful ruler and should therefore have the tablet so that he can use it to open a big magic-y door to release his evil army.
And it is worth noting his cousin by second marriage is Mumra. Fun fact.
I'd buy it. Anyway, that is the overall premise. So Larry proceeds to head to the Smithsonian Museum with the intent of locating the exhibits and the tablet and saving the exhibits and bringing the tablet back to New York, and adventure and hilarity to some extent ensue, but also some stupid shit.
Yep.
So who wants to go first? Start off talking about the overall plot and story.
Technically, this is what I touched on at the beginning. It's not really just the overarching plot, it's also with one of the characters. The female pilot, she was wonderful. Yeah. She was probably the best part of this, to the point I just wanted to see her get her own film. I wanted to see her, and I'm disappointed that Jim said she's not back in the third film. That makes me not want to see that film. Because out of the first two films, she was the best part.
Yes.
She was like the best character and probably the best acted in both of the first two films.
I agree with that.
To not have her in the third one, it's like, what the hell? But in the second one, in terms of how they did it with her plane and how she's taking charge, she was a great love interest to a certain degree for Ben Stiller's character, because he's more of the cowardly, oh, I'm an everyman, oh, type character, where she's more to take charge, which kind of balance each other well. Like the buddy movies where you have one who takes charge and is all action, and the other one who's more logic and reason and stuff. And it worked, which I loved that about this film. I will admit, I did love that. The rest of the film, not so much, but that's a part of the film I did love. Her and the
will
relationship
agree with
with
you.
Ben Stiller.
I'll agree with you. She's probably the strongest part in this entire film.
Hmm.
Awesome.
Indeed, yes, she is very good. Overall, I agree with the idea of the plot. Okay, we're going to a bigger museum. There's a lot more stuff here, a lot more craziness going on. That's a good base concept from what you were working on in the first movie. The problem is you go to a place like the Smithsonian, where, number one, there might just be a little bit too much going on for you to try to show it all, number one. And number two, literally everything in the Smithsonian, and you're going to bog down your movie with unneeded pop culture references.
Yep, inserting Vader and, was it Oscar the Grouch?
Oscar the Grouch. They wanted to join the evil world taking over group.
The only
Yeah,
good thing
which
about
is
like
stupid.
the Darth Vader thing was that it showed how the evil villain was Simon.
Yeah, which I will say, I will say, it was stupid. I like Vader, I like Oscar the Grouch. I didn't want to see him in this film. Just because I like him doesn't mean I want him in everything.
Yeah.
Which is
His
stupid.
line was funny though, with the whole you got the cape, the mask. It's just too mismatch of things. I don't know what's going on. You
Yes,
can't, you can't go.
Yeah, this what is this? What are you doing? What is this?
Yeah, which also doesn't work because he's from a different universe, and all of the stuff he's taking the piss out of was in a much better film.
Yes.
Pretty much.
It's like
Which
it's like certain sites, which I won't go into, and also Family Guy and stuff. You can't insult stuff that's better than what you're doing, or you look like ass. Like when Family Guy does a Back to the Future bit, I'm like, but Back to the Future's better than you'll ever be.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
lost Simon.
to that. Oh, hopefully Simon will return. But to that effect, I agree. I will give credit to Hank Azaria for being hilarious and acting the hell out of this. But unfortunately, he wasn't given all that much to work with.
Yeah, I'm going to say it's pretty sad when I'm going to assume people are just going to insult these without actually watching them because the internet says so. But he was much better as a villain as Gargamel than he was in this, which says it all when the Smurfs films are better films than this.
Yeah.
And like I said, I know people are going to go, oh, it's the Smurfs, well, you need to insult it because insert thing told me to. And it's like, no. They're actually good if you sit down and give them a chance. They're fun, at least, but this one just seemed to not feel like the first one. The first one felt like an intelligent-ish, to a certain degree, story with a real heart to it. This one felt like, ironically, for lack of a better term, Spaceballs 2, The Search for More Money. It was basically, let's just milk this shit.
Merchandising.
Seeing this and seeing the trailer for the third film, I partly don't want to see the third film because it looks to be more the same of let's just cash in on it, but I don't like it because it was like all of this was just about cashing in on the first film, not in a good way either. It's like, if you want to make a sequel, make it where you've got a good story. Make it where it makes sense for the film.
Yeah. I said I agree with the plot concept of we're going to go to a bigger museum, so there's going to be more stuff.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, because they chose that particular museum, there was just nothing but pop culture references and all kinds of shit like that there. And all it did really was just... It cluttered the movie up, and it basically was all about, oh, here's this and here's that and here's a reference to this, instead of the heart of what was a movie. Now, I will give them credit. They had some heart at the beginning and end. It was about, oh, the exhibits aren't going to get to come to life anymore. Oh, I've got to go back and help my friends because I left and went and became a boring businessman. But, you know, like he said to Teddy at the end, I figured out what you were saying when you got cut off by the sunlight. Is the truth, the secret to happiness is to do what you love with the people you love.
It's a good
I
message.
was going to say physical exercise, but the love thing works too.
It's a good message, and
Yeah, so it has a little bit of heart to it. Just the message just bogged down as all hell in the overly
Look at the fucking
crazy.
Jonas Brothers in it.
Hey, what? I didn't see that part. Where are they?
They're the fucking Cupids. They have the Jonas Brother heads on Cupids.
Oh, oh God, I did not know they were the Jonas
The singing
Brothers. Okay.
Cupids, they have the Jonas Brother heads because they're singing.
I didn't know they were Jonas Brothers. Okay, I missed that.
And here I thought you would have, given that, well, when it comes to anything crap, music-wise, you're only there.
Mm.
But for me, like, I liked the movie, personally. I know that just somewhere on the internet someone is now wishing me dead on that one, but fuck them.
That ship already sailed.
I know.
Yeah.
But you know what, though, I mean, it wasn't a bad movie per se. Could have been better, but it was okay. I liked...
To be fair, Si, you are obviously entitled to like the film because you're liking it and stuff based on what you've seen and what you've enjoyed and stuff. And I do encourage people, like I've said in the past, just because we say something's shit, you should at least maybe check it out for yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I would have liked to have seen Larry, kind of develop a little bit more, but I love the fact that Amelia could actually get that shit out of him. It's like,
Yeah.
like to see a strong female lead, like next to a male lead, was a wonderful thing to actually see.
It was. She was a great character.
And I would argue to the point that actually Larry did develop pretty well as a character based on what they established. Because when they introduced him at the beginning of the movie again, he had kind of lost his way. He'd become this big, boring businessman selling devices. So the point that even when he went to the museum to visit Teddy and everything, he kept getting interrupted by his phone and missing everything that was going on. To the point that, again, at the end, Teddy was like, this is what happiness is like, oh, hang on, Teddy. He checks the phone, and he looks up, and the sun has come up, and Teddy's frozen again. The established fact that he'd become this boring businessman, and he was making a lot of money, but he didn't like what he was doing. They showed him with his coworkers, and he wasn't smiling or happy about the Walmart deal and what was going on. Whereas he went back to the museum, and he realized that over the course of the film, that was where he belonged because they were his true friends.
Yeah, but the small problem I'd have with Larry's development is if you watch the first two films, he's the same character at the end of the first film as he is at the end of the second. All that's happened is the second then added reasons to suddenly put him back to how he was. That's not really character development. You should build on what was already there and take it into a new direction or take it to some new foot or new footing or some new comfort zone. You know what I mean? Just so it expands upon what's there and not, okay, let's shrink that back just so we can get it back to what was already there. It's like, no, that doesn't really work. I normally don't like that trope in films where it's like, oh, we need to just restart back to the first film.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I like the character of Larry, don't get me wrong, I like him, I find him relatable to people who are in employment and all that.
I've heard of people.
Yes, that was not a very good accent.
See, he's Sir Peg, he just owns mansions everywhere. He doesn't have to work for a living. He pretty much just wipes his ass with $100 bills, uses peasants to walk over puddles in the rain,
To be fair, he would wipe his ass with $100 bill because Simon comes from a country with a better economy.
I'm not from the 15th
and currency. Yeah.
I'm not from the 15th century, my creative darlings. Now, shut up.
You were just talking to us before this review about candles to light the room.
Well, yes, my light bulb's dead. But anyway, that's another subject for another time. Let's get back on topic.
And I can see Jim's lit up by a screen. That means he's Googled something.
Oh, yes. But mind you, though, I like...
What have you Googled, Jim?
And not relevant to this.
Of course not. Now, I liked the characters.
How many cups were there?
I don't want to know.
How many cups were there, Jim, or shades of grey?
He's not answering. That's quite scary.
But no.
Yes. But no, indeed.
I will also say they got rid of some of the best parts of the first film as well.
Yeah?
Like I mentioned in the first one, the best actor in the first one was Dick Van Dyke.
Yes.
Where the fuck is he in the second one?
Not there.
And yeah, he's not there. Or whereas, as much as he was annoying, Where's the run dum dum?
He was in, and he was at he's a big Easter Island head, so he stayed at the New York Museum. He was there at the beginning and then again at the end.
Yeah, which that felt stupid because it's like you can't claim it's all the characters in the first film and leave most of them behind.
Hmm.
I can understand it. Given
Actually, it's funny you mentioned that, Mole, because even when he like in the second one where they're checking out he's checking out who's actually in the box, those 4 or 5 characters who were in there, he's like, oh, I guess pretty much everyone came. So pretty much saying everyone came, saying those other than those 5 people or whoever was in the box, everybody else back at the New York Museum is no one, because everyone came.
Well, the only people back at the New York Museum that would be considered a nobody that would be relevant is Teddy, the Dum Dum Head, and the T-Rex skeleton.
Ah, so you consider Teddy a nobody? Cool.
But in all fairness, they had a Teddy at the Smithsonian. It was a bust of a head, but it was still a Teddy. It counted.
Yeah, for 5 seconds, and no one gave a shit about.
Yeah, no one did give a shit about because that looked like fucking ass CGI.
It really did. It looked like they just covered him with chocolate face.
Well, they did. They just painted his face and then put his head there, I think.
Yeah, it looked
It looked
horrible.
shitty.
How they did the CGI on that, it looked horrible. It says it also when this will be a little over the top of the head for the Americans, because I know they haven't watched it, Si. But it says it all when the Teddy head looked worse than the talking head from Art Attack.
My God. No. No.
I don't get it.
That's why you're not meant to.
Yeah, because it was a show over here. But there was a show over here with a talking head that used to do art and stuff. It was fun. It was for
Okay, then.
kids on TV.
Yes.
Right then.
But yeah, it looked. I didn't like. No, it looked like ass. The Teddy head looked like ass. And yeah, some of the stuff they did with this was stupid. Like, okay, the portal is supposed to bring them back to life, but it's supposed to give the personalities to stuff that's not real, but then suddenly grant someone the ability to open portals. Because fuck, why the fuck not? He has other magics now. I don't get the logic behind these films.
To be fair, if the concept is things coming alive in a museum through spontaneity or whatever, logic kind of goes out the window.
Yeah, but there's other ways to do it. It's like, if they all come alive, they shouldn't have the personality of the things they were modelled to look like.
Well, not necessarily.
And if they do, what, is it the spirits of those people trapped in? I don't get what goes on with that. Jim might be able to explain, but how does that make sense, Jim, of that bit followed by the opening of portals?
You're just not thinking with portals.
No, I was being serious.
Yeah, that unfortunately, the first and third movies are fine with this, but the logic of exactly what the tablet is and can do in the second movie does not make any goddamn sense in continuity.
See, I still said it made no sense for me with the first film either, of why do they have the personalities of the things they were modelled after? That doesn't make sense.
I suppose it's to keep in line with whatever history or whatever.
Yeah.
Mind you, with regards to the whole Darth Vader cameo, I actually liked it. I thought it was quite funny, but then again, my sense of humor is one that's very stupid, by my own admission. You know, so like I found the Pharaoh just taking the piss out of him. I'm like, I've got some brass balls right there, man. Like, and it's just like, you know, what the fuck is this? What are you gonna do? Neck pinch me to death? It's like, I actually love that. Mind you, didn't know the sort of Jonas Brothers were doing the whole fucking Cupid head thing. So thanks for pointing that out, by the way.
Yeah, rewatch it, and you can see it's clearly their heads on there. Because my sister's all about the Jonas Brothers at that time, so she's like, "Oh my god!"
Well, what's the next category then, Jim?
Now it's just to look at the characters individually. Whatever characters you guys want to look at.
Okay, I thought you were going to run through them.
Well, I mean, we already covered some of them. We talked about Larry and his development or lack thereof.
Yeah.
We talked about how good Amy Adams was in the Amelia Earhart role. Did anybody want to mention more on that?
No, like I said, I thought she was just the best part of the film.
Yeah. We covered Hank Azaria as Common Ra.
I liked what's his face? Green Goblin, New Goblin, and he was there for 5 seconds in the painting.
Isn't Common Ra that show Marcus is always going on about that became Masked Rider?
God knows.
His name is James Franco, is that it?
Delayed reaction, but cool.
Jim, what's the name of that guy? New Goblin. Or
The old New Goblin or the new Goblin?
Old New.
What do you mean?
Yes, James Franco.
Yeah, he was in there for a second, and I liked how he's like, I invented phones. Changed his history because Larry left his phone in the painting.
Joey Motorola, you get down here right now.
I thought that was funny. I liked that part.
It makes no sense, but okay.
It makes no sense at all, but nothing in this movie makes sense. So I'm gonna take treat the whole thing like little skits, and I can take the parts that I like.
The movie makes no little sense. It's escaping reality, and it's randomly duplicating Simon.
Yeah, like I said, nothing in these films makes sense.
True.
To be fair, though, with regards to it not making sense, trying to find a logic in a movie where, it's supposed to be fun and over the top and larger than life, that kind of defeats the purpose of enjoyment.
Oh, no, I agree, Simon, with enjoyment, but it's like, say, Toy Story, like we compared in the last one. Toy Story has the opinion of toys just come alive. Whenever your humans aren't around, toys come alive. And therefore, you accept it because there's no real, besides the Buzz Lightyear thing, there's no real issue with that. And it's like, okay, that's kind of cool. They do it well. There's no logic with, okay, well, why does this work this way? It's like, but with this one, because they've introduced magic as a result, and they're just doing a Disney with magic, we don't have to explain it. It's like, basically, what's the point of introducing the magic and then making it like stuff like, oh, now suddenly they have the same personalities as what they were made after. Now they suddenly, which makes no sense because now the Easter Island head wants to eat gum, and it's like, well, I don't get any of this.
So you would have preferred them to have a little bit more originality and individuality.
Either more creative, either if we're going to go with this and they all come alive, give them all unique personalities that are not tied to what they were made to look like, or remove the magic and go with the idea that in museums at night time everything comes alive anyway, and it just turns out people don't know.
Very well. That is a fair point and a fair argument.
Was there any other characters, Jim?
Which ones have we gone through, by the way?
Is Jim still there?
I'm here. We covered Larry. We covered Amelia Earhart. We covered Common Ra. Well, in terms of primary characters in this movie, obviously we had the recurring roles. Minor things like Teddy Roosevelt and the Dum Dum Head. Sacagaway was in for a brief time. Jedediah and Octavius had a decent-sized role. Jedediah being trapped in an hourglass, being the impetus for Larry to try to discover the combination for the tablet so the Common Ra could use it.
No, it's like
a brief instance.
It's like I said, the Teddy head looked like ass.
It looks like shit, yeah. But there was a brief instance of a character going outside their role of who they were sculpted as. With what's that guy? The guy with the goatee. He was like some American war hero or something, or betrayal. Sorry.
General George Armstrong Custer.
Yeah. So yeah, he was really cool because he actually went outside his he went outside his character because he can't do anything because he goes, I'm famous for defeating or backstabbing or whatever. But he actually like, hey, we're gonna lead an army.
He would have ended their deaths.
Well, yeah, but like this time he actually said, you know what? No, fuck that. I'm gonna be an awesome I'm gonna lead this battle.
And then he got immediately clotheslined and accomplished nothing.
Hey, he tried, and that's the point.
To be fair, his original self that he was based upon tried and failed.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, he tried to, like, go against the grain, and, you know, like, who he was sculpted as. And, you know, he led it, so there's that. And they succeeded, so.
See, I felt he was still trying to be him. It was still meant to be like he was him.
Yeah.
At least to me, but...
I felt like he tried to, like, he was pretty cool and tried to go outside the box a little bit, but...
But I also find it weird that, like, Sacagawea, or whatever she was called, I find it weird that they didn't use her more in this.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
really
that-
underplayed her.
Because
Yeah,
she was a real predominant role in the first one. Probably, in my opinion, the second role alongside Ben Stiller. In fact, they didn't use her in this.
Well, I think the purpose is because they had Amy Adams and they wanted her to shine as a lead female and not to get shown up.
But it just felt weird. In terms of, as well as in the story as well, because she was like his number one, if you will. Is like she was like his go-to-ish to a certain degree, and this one, no. And I'm like, oh.
Fair enough. Plus, they needed somebody who, you know,
What
actually
about the three lackeys of the villain?
Yes, I was going to finish because they also needed somebody who spoke English to sit there in the crate and tell Custer he was being an idiot. So that was kind of her role. But anyway, yes, we have three more characters. When Common Raw is arisen, his men get defeated, and so he needs to recruit more help. And so to do so, he goes out and recruits some of the most notorious people of history, including Christopher Guest as Ivan the Terrible, Alan Shabbat as Napoleon Bonaparte, and John Bernthal as Al Capone.
I would have to make a case that Napoleon wasn't evil.
Nobody said they were evil. They were just known for being great conquerors, I think.
You just described them as despicable.
Did I say? Okay, fine.
You did just tell us that they're evil.
In all fairness, he did murder a lot of people.
In the name of war. To be fair, the Teddy character that's in there isn't evil. He's still known as someone that led an army, which would have resulted in people dying. That's the nature of war. Napoleon wasn't evil. He was doing the right thing for his country. Whether or not we agreed with it or whatever doesn't really matter. He wasn't evil per se.
No, but he was also known for being a dick. There was a reason when he finally lost, he got banished to an island.
Yes, because he lost. If he won, they wouldn't have banished him.
Right.
I actually liked Napoleon. I thought it was quite an interesting little thing to see him in, because I didn't expect to see him in there.
I didn't. He was kind of okay in this film. I will say, he's not as good as Napoleon and Bill and Ted.
Ah.
Oh, come on, that
Or as
Napoleon
good
was
as-
awesome. Iggy
I was gonna say he wasn't as good as the Napoleon of Napoleon Dynamite. Haha.
Haha.
I haven't seen that movie, I'm afraid.
Yeah, Napoleon was okay. Of the three, I give the most credit to Ivan the Terrible.
I could see that.
Or as properly translated, Ivan the Awesome.
Me personally, I love Al Capone. It's Al Capone, for fuck's sake.
He was pretty cool. I like that he was black and white, like a painting.
Yeah, it was like old school 1940s.
Yeah, and they did do some great casting for those roles as well. Because, for example, John Bernthal, who plays Al Capone, is most well known for his role The Walking Dead, but also for his role as Joe Teague in the TNT series Mob City, and his roles in films like The Wolf of Wall Street and Fury.
It should have been Al Pacino.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been good, but A, he's really expensive to get, and B, he's kind of old. This is supposed to be young Al Capone, as mentioned by Kamun Ra.
Mm-hmm.
And and Alan Shabbat is, of course, a well-known French actor, so he had already had the accent and everything to play for the Napoleon, which worked out well. And Christopher Guest as Ivan the Terrible was just hilarious.
He was pretty good.
Ironically, though, I found myself enjoying more of the supporting cast than the main ones. I don't know if that's just me. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Ben Stiller and I love Amy Adams in it, but I found the side characters to be a lot,
I'm imagining.
a little bit more compelling.
I see.
I imagine
Like
Simon like the thinker.
Nice. But I was saying to you, sir, yeah, I was of the opinion, for me at least, I'm of the opinion that the only character that really shone throughout it was Amelia. The rest of them, even the characters in the first film, I was like, just get them the fuck off and let's show more of her. I think she stole this fucking film.
Yeah. I would have liked to have seen a bit more of Owen Wilson, though.
Said no one ever.
I don't know, though. I have a soft spot for...
Oh, I mentioned in the first one, I like Owen Wilson. I will admit, I do like him. I was making a joke there with the said no one ever. I just don't like him as the cowboy because he doesn't come across as he comes across as someone nowadays trying to pretend to be a cowboy. It doesn't work.
He literally comes across as Owen Wilson in a cowboy hat.
Yeah, which is bad because he's meant to have the personality of the cowboy, and it doesn't really work. It's like it feels like he's acting bad.
I'll give him that.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that, though. I mean, you could tell that he was having a blast with it, which is a good thing. Ironically, though, he did actually play a cowboy in Shanghai Noon, Roy O'Bannon.
Yeah.
Okay then.
God, I love that movie. I have no taste. Sue me. Thanks.
His taste relies on silver clothes and getting deals, and convincing men to have sex with him.
Did you just say something about getting beetles?
I don't know.
I don't want to know.
Getting deals, like sales. For clothing, I imagine you get, like, deals like, oh my god, 60% off, like, ruby slippers.
I'm not Dorothy, you idiot.
And to be fair, Simon doesn't have to convince people to have sex with him. He has the philosophy of Field of Dreams. If he builds a sex dungeon, they will come.
Just plain no, Mold. Just plain no.
Would it help to know I was spelling "come" with a U?
No, it does not.
Okay. I was having your back, dude.
That's not having my back. That's throwing me into the lion's den, you jackass.
No, I'd never put you in a shitty WWE UFC rip-off match. Yes.
Touche. And back to the movie. Jim.
Yes, but it should also be noted that there's quite a good amount of well-done voice acting in here as well. Also, by the way, for the record, Anastasia Lazerbeam, the young man who plays Joey Motorola in the photograph, that's Jay Baracco. That's not James Franco.
It looked like James Franco.
Oh, snap! He corrected you so soon, it's almost like he didn't Google it.
Exactly. Anyway,
Yes, Google on speed dial.
Yes. There's a lot of great voice acting, including Eugene Levy as the Albert Einstein bobblehead.
Yes. Bobblehead!
Bobblehead. And,
Bobblehead!
Sorry,
I was giving Pew props.
It's alright. No worries.
And also other great voice acting from actually Hank Azaria himself, who voiced both the Lincoln Memorial, Abraham Lincoln, and also the Thinker.
To be fair, he is good at voice acting. He does do Moe and Apu on The Simpsons.
That's why I'm giving. He does a lot more than that on The Simpsons. That's why I'm giving him props.
Yes, and I was backing you up.
Good.
I figured we were here to support you in your. What the hell is this? The airwaves?
Something like that. Anyway, we also had a lot of great one-off cameos for different celebrities. In a variety of roles. Mindy Kaling is one of the docents at the museum. Keith Powell, Craig Robinson as the Tuskegee Airmen. Clinton Howard as the Matty Finocho as the mission control guys, George Foreman cameoing as himself in the infomercial at the beginning, Jonah Hill as Brundon, the museum guard down there, Ed Helms as Larry Daly, Ben Stiller's assistant at the beginning of the movie. Just all kinds of good stuff like that.
Which also means they missed a beat.
They did.
Just think about it in my head. They missed a beat.
Okay.
They didn't have Dick Van Dyke in this film.
Mm-hmm.
Yet this is the one they jump into paintings. Come on, he's kind of known for it. You could have easily had him in there in some sort of role, got him to go into the painting and make some sort of Mary Poppins joke. That
That's
just writes
true.
itself.
and although, in all fairness, the painting thing has been a thing. I think they actually did jump into a painting in the first movie, also, didn't they?
I don't think they went into the painting to the same degree of they were all little worlds like they were in this.
Fair enough.
They may have.
Yeah, I could be wrong.
You no. I got your back. I got your back, Jimmy.
Okay.
I'm here to help you out, little buddy.
Fair enough. But yes, just many great characters and acting in the movie. They did the best they could with a script that could have been better, and it was a little overblown with trying to fit everything they possibly could into it because Smithsonian. Anybody have any fun thoughts? Want to give it a score? Want to give it a buy, watch, skip, anything?
My final thoughts were, it did, like I said, it did a couple of things sort of well, but not enough to the point that I'd say avoid. I'm going to give this film a solid avoid and say just don't even bother watching them from this point on. Stick with the first, because otherwise they're just going to undo all the stuff you liked about the first.
I would have said if don't buy it or rent it, but if it's on TV, don't feel completely obligated to change the channel. Just like check it out because it's already there and playing, and just like then change it.
And as for me personally, I would say, definitely rent it, give it a go. I'd personally give it like maybe a 7 out of 10. Well, yeah, at the highest.
I'm going to say thank you, Simon. The only reason I say that is Pew normally gives it a score with a rating system too. I'm normally the one that only does the buy, rent, avoid.
Well, I can't really give this a rating because I don't know. I just feel like watch parts of it if it's on TV. That's it.
To be fair, Anna, you have the attention span of a gnat, dear. No offense.
Oh. Hey, ADD. What do you expect?
It's only honesty. But
To be fair, she's not wrong about this film.
But you know what? It's a fun movie. It's very enjoyable, and it's got its own merits. But not perfect. But then again, what the hell is nowadays? But you know what? Ultimately, ultimately, give it a shot and make up your own minds. Because ultimately, we can't tell you what's good, what's not. It's down to you guys, the audience, to actually make up your own minds and see for yourselves. Yeah.
Why was words from Simon, man/woman?
Just a man, God, dearie.
So how about Jim?
Mm-hmm.
Over there in Margaritaville.
Looking for my lost sugar song. Anyway,
Oh God.
some people say that there's a Rocky to blame.
But I know it's all Pew's fault.
Anyway, yeah, overall I would say if you see it on, give it a watch. If you like the first movie and you haven't seen this one, it's worth watching just for the sake of seeing what's going on and seeing some great acting if the acting is amongst a not quite so good script and a slightly overblown effects and cameo budget. Excuse me. But yeah, give it a shot and see what you think. I would give it if I were going to rate this movie, I'd probably give it maybe a 70, 75 out of 100. I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world, but there's some problems. So yeah, thank you three for joining me for the review.
You're welcome.
Pleasure.
What they said only more awesome just because I said it.
Also, spoilers: Pharaoh Common Ra will not be returning for the third movie. He got sucked into a portal in the afterlife after his birdmen got chased away. So we'll have. Unfortunately, Amy Adams will not be appearing in the third film either. But if you want to hear about the third film, which you can still see in some theaters now, tune in next Friday night, the evening of the 30th, where sometime around this time, and or when we started this review anyway, and we will be discussing the third film, Night of the Museum: Secret of the Tomb.
It should also be worth noting that when he goes through the portal, he does take a tiny little bit of technology with him, which the filmmakers themselves wanted that because of his name and his namesake when he goes back in time. Effectively, that's why we had those technological pyramids in The Fifth Element.
That is such a stretch of surprise it didn't break.
That's what my belt says.
Exactly.
Anyway.
But anyway, yes, it should be noted that only Anastasia, Lazerbeam, and I have actually seen, I don't think, Simon, you haven't seen Secret of the Tomb, have you?
I have not.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I have.
Yeah, Stacey and I both saw it. I liked it. I don't know about you. But we're going to talk about that next week, and Mo's going to join us just to give some commentary as someone who's hearing about it for the first time, if he decides to come.
I mentioned, well, to be fair, one, I always decide to come. Hi, ladies. But two, I will not be joining you for the review, as I mentioned last time, because I'm like, we split them up. There's no need for me to be there. I don't get the spoilers for if I ever decide to check that out, which is unlikely with how bad this one was.
Fair enough.
Or enough to be distracted reviewer.
I was.
Mhm.
I would. Go ahead, Simon.
As for me, I personally would love to, but unfortunately I'm back in at work for next week, so I'm not going to have time.
Well, then join Anastasia, Lazerbeam, and I next Friday night for a look at the third film in the series, Night of the Museum: Secret of the Tomb, where we'll wrap this up.
That'll be compelling.
It'll be very compelling.
Hold on to your hats, ladies and gentlemen.
What's that?
Hold on to your hats, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, yeah. So until next time, thank you for joining me. This has been the Lair of the Phoenix. I'm James Phoenix. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.